Hi, you all. Welcome to the Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. Election day, finally. All the BS and bull we've been watching for the last few months. It comes to a head. People get to go choose and get to go vote. Will they vote socialism, Marxist? Are we really going down that road? Are we really going to take away the great United States of America and start targeting Venezuela as a deal? It's amazing to watch, yet I'll be honest with you, I'm in and out with it right now, trying to get away from it as much as I can. I'm ready for it to be over between you and me, and I know a lot of people are. I'm not the only one that feels that way, but I kind of quit watching it for the most part. This guy says this, and you go, wow, that's great. Next one talks, you go, oh, my God. Next one, wow, that's great. Oh, my God. I always feel good when I see Barack Obama out there, though. I really do. In his closing speech yesterday, Brandon, 89 times during the speech he talked about himself. You know why, Brandon? Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's talking about the Obama accomplishment. Matter of fact, we're going to find out that what he did with Obamacare, especially Medicaid, is going to destroy the health care system that we have because we can't afford what they're doing. That's going to be the living legacy of him destroying health care. Now, to some people on the left, because the Democrats are all running on health care, but they run on all the free stuff. Medicaid is free health care. Free. It's taking people and saying, look, we're going to take care of you, vote for us. John Bel Edwards expanded Medicaid, which was an Obama and a Democrat thing. And you got people out there voting, say, I'll vote for my health care. Your health care is going to be worth a crap in the next few years before it's over if you keep going in that direction. It's not. They don't know. They don't understand. Nobody wants to understand. The media's playing this. The media's playing this of hating Trump for the last 2 or 3 years has just been over the top. It really has. It's just the ugliness of telling people and the hate and evil that comes out of them. I agree with Trump on fake news, and I agree with Trump. They've been an enemy of the people. A lot of them have, because they don't like the Constitution. They hate Christians. They hate people that believe in Jesus. I mean, they hate them. They hate the Constitution. They hate the rule of law. They should have been pounding the Democrats during the Ballsy Ford and all that crazy stuff with, where's the proof? Show us the proof. They didn't. They get on the bandwagon because they've taken sides. And when you have a media, for the most part, that takes a side instead of just being for the Constitution and being for freedom, and that way they challenge anybody that comes along, you got a problem. And they've convinced a lot of people that socialism and Marxism is a good thing. Nate Silver, 88% Democrats take the House, 19% to take the Senate. And, what's going to happen, I don't know. Maybe y'all know. Maybe somebody else knows out there. There's so many guesses out there to what's going to happen. All a person can do is go vote. I'm talking to people that are going to vote today, Brandon. Did you vote today?
Yes.
They had any kind of lines?
Nope. Well, now I went at 7 in the morning, and there was no line. We went at the perfect time. We were able to get in and out. But it was, it was no line. It was no wait, but people were steadily coming in.
Somebody told me, and I forgot who came in and said they voted at 44 people at their polling place.
That's good.
I tell you who it was. It was Mark Pope. Mark said it was 44 people. He counted them.
Yeah.
So just kind of curious. Look, I had a few people there. So, and there's some record turnouts in some of these places, barely for midterm.
I'll be honest with you. I'm sure a lot of people probably weren't motivated to get out this morning with the fog. And I don't look at it as an excuse, but it's just reality. That fog was really thick this morning. And so weather does play a factor sometimes.
Yeah. One of the things that I was amazed about, I kind of skim the news now because I don't want to watch it. I watched football last night. What else did I watch? There was a movie I was watching. There was a Western on TV, Brian. Yeah. I skipped back at a commercial break and I checked out Donald Trump speaking in Cape Girardeau. Rush Limbaugh was there. And what was amazing about that was they had people standing in the rain under umbrellas and rain suits and cold and rainy. And it was some of them sat out there for 24 hours. They had thousands of people trying to get in there. Brandon, there was an incident last night where a lady fainted, and Donald Trump stopped, said, "We'll just get some help for this lady." And he said, "We need to pray, pause for the rally." 5 minutes asking audience to say a prayer as emergency responded, and guess what happened? They broke out singing Amazing Grace. Now, that wouldn't happen at a Democrat Party thing, but it happened at a Trump deal. So they sung Amazing Grace. You know, I'm sure the press didn't like that because they're so anti-Christ and anti-Constitution and anti-United States of America. That's what really bugs me in this race. If it was the old Democrat, old Republican, here's what we believe, here's what we want to happen. It's you know, just you wouldn't have all that with you wouldn't have all that. We wouldn't be worried about this. So Democrats took over, so we suck it up and we move on. But it is a concern. It should be a concern. I will say this: I've never seen energy like I've seen in Donald Trump and the crowds and things. I don't know if this means anything, folks. I don't. I know it meant a lot in 2016. Trump's name's not on a ballot anywhere. You know, so it's one of those things that you sit back and you look and all the polls. I know this. How many of you people out there? I hear this a lot now. When a pollster calls, you just lie. You don't answer, you lie, you make stuff up. I never took a poll, Brandon. I've been called. I said, don't waste my time. But I know people that'll lie. They'll just tell them anything they want to tell them. Mess with them. And that's what amazes me. If the polls are wrong as much as they were in 2016 and 2014 and 2012, it would. My question to you folks is, what are we supposed to ever read in a poll again? What are we supposed to ever say when we see a poll again? If the polls are wrong and Republicans win 4 or 5 Senate seats or hold their majority in the House, what is a person to do when they're watching a poll? I mean, do we just totally laugh at the polls now? You know, there was a poll, only half of Americans have faith in democracy. There's the problem, Brandon. Nobody should have a faith in democracy. Democracy ends up in mob rule, or Democrat rule, same thing. We don't have a democracy. It's not what we ever were. And there's the problem. We keep telling people we're a democracy, and we're not. That's not who we are. A democracy. Yeah, democracy is mob rule. Why do you think they want to get rid of Electoral College? Electoral College has nothing to do with democracy. It's nothing to do with the majority vote. But that's what they want. It's interesting to see the things that are going on. I'm puzzled. What will happen? Will they nut up in the streets? Will people be hurt if Republicans hold on? According to who was the actor that said, "I'll be blood in the streets"? We don't control. Now, I don't know if y'all caught this. A couple of different things dealing with the election. Michigan journalist caught saying Republican John James' victory would suck. And that reporter has now been fired. Man, this is quote the reporter, Brenda Battle, or Battelle, however you want to say it. Man, if he beats her, Jesus, then the F-bomb, John James, that would suck. I don't think it's going to happen, though. This was what a reporter who had called the John James campaign to set up an interview for tonight and did not hang up and said this talking to somebody else. And so they played it for people, and it shows the bias in the media, the unbelievable bias in the press, and it's been bad. It's been as bad as I've ever seen. So there's a guy right there that's a black Republican, but you don't see the press helping him like they're helping Gilliam or Abrams, Gilliam in Florida and Abrams in Georgia. By the way, I'm going to say this again. They have been the Democrats, that Oprah went in there and Obama went in there, and it's stir up votes, no doubt about it. But they're already talking about, because she's running against the Secretary of State who's in charge of voting. I think in that election, the Republicans going to win that one. That's the only one I'm making a prediction on. If the Republican wins that one, they gonna holler, they cheated, they suppressed the black vote. I think that's what's coming tonight or tomorrow. I think that may be one of the biggest takes because, of course, the media's gonna run with it. They have to run with something negative like that, even though it's probably not happening. And I don't know, Como, if you've been seeing, but now they got a few people getting ready to go to jail, Grassley and them, on this thing with Kavanaugh. These women are now saying, I made it up, fabricated,
Yeah, I've
lied.
been seeing those stories coming in.
Well, the whole thing was a lie.
Yep.
And see, when you vote Democrat, what you're voting for is to say, I'm for the new way of doing it. You're guilty to proven innocent. Nobody wants to be guilty to proven innocent. It's innocent to proven guilty. And all this rigmarole with Kavanaugh and what they did to that man, it's almost not fair if the Democrats win in any election. These people are nuts. They really are nuts. Your own governor raised money for the nuts nationally. Well, we'll take care of him next year. All right. Your phone calls are welcome. What's your thoughts today, folks? What do you think will happen? It's a good time to voice your opinion. Secretary of State's race. Big race on the ballot. Runoff in December. Love to hear from you. 844-766-6607. Hixson has a hotline. Take a break. We'll be right back. Anyway, 844-766-6607. Hixson has a hotline. If you'd like to be part of the program, your opportunity to be a voice election day. Still don't think anybody knows what really will happen. They may be right. You know, everything I read, Democrats kicking butt and taking names. They having a big turnout, big push. Still hard to believe, though. People want to vote crazy. Pelosi as speaker is crazy. I mean, crazy. If you want to know what's in the health care bill, we got to vote for it. I'm telling you. The only bright side of them winning back the House, Brandon, I'm telling you, is her and Maxine Waters on TV every night. Dems' stealth strategy to block president's agenda even without controlling House and debate as the attorney generals around the country start suing President Trump. I'm not making this up. It's phenomenal. By the way, it's kind of comical, but it kind of puts it in perspective. You know, Roy Moore came along and they beat him and all this stuff. And Brandon, by the way, have you seen any lawsuits against any of these women against Moore since all this happened? It's all breaking down on the Kavanaugh deal with all these people now saying that they lied. By the way, Brandon, I read the report they released. They had a man came forward and said the person that Blasey Ford was talking about was me. I remember where the place was. I remember I was on the bed with a woman in a bathing suit, and my buddy jumped on top of us, and it kind of stopped everything. And so they got people that did all that stuff. And so does that mean Ford was lying too? But that ain't never going anywhere else. So you got a left that constantly believes the rule of law ought to be thrown out. New Jersey Democrat Bob Menendez, who should have been found guilty, okay, who's having problems now. I'm not saying he won't win in New Jersey, but that race has gotten really close, and New Jersey Democrats are facing a tough decision. Here's their decision. Party leaders, and the Republicans usually kick ours out. Party leaders are urging Democrats faithful to sacrifice their principles for the greater good of thrashing Republican President Donald Trump at the polls and reelect Bob Menendez. So they know he's a piece of trash. But get rid of your principles. No, you still vote for the man. Well, first of all, you got to have principles, and I don't see any Democrats voting for principle anymore. There's very few. I mean, is abortion a principle? Vote. You're voting for principle, abortion. Changing the definition of marriage, that's a principle vote.
Aren't you?
Man, I tell you what, crazy just gotten crazy.
That surprised me today.
Yeah, the liberal media can't stand the idea of job creators and combat veterans. Oh, anyway, this is what's going on in New Jersey. Man, I tell you what, I just got a raw. I mean, if somebody's stopping it, don't stop by here much. You know, I need you to come next week when I'm not here. I didn't need you to come this week while I'm here, but since you're here and you're a great advertiser, I got to bring you in your Dallas Hixson. What's up,
next week?
Brother?
Wait, no, it's next week. I thought it was this week. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. No, it's next week. I was kind of shocked. Brandon's going, oh, my God, you ain't going to believe you see. I didn't want to look.
I think my car may be a Democratic car because I got in it and I said, take me somewhere to vote. It drove me to Lafayette, so I knew there must be a race here I need to vote in.
Normally what we do is I put the curtains all the way down because I don't want if Brandon never goes duck, I know somebody's
That's right.
from the backside.
That's right.
But he said, you ain't going to believe, look around the back. So I looked around and said, oh, my God, how you doing?
Good. I was here for a little business meeting this morning, and I had some headed back to Alexandria, so I just figured something out.
Did you already vote?
I did, actually, early voted.
Okay.
And my son's voting in his first election, so what a midterm deal to vote in. So he didn't want to early vote. He said, Dad, I want to go to the poll like everybody else. They're out of school. So
that's really, in all fairness, that's the best way.
Absolutely. He's excited, and I knew I had this meeting in Lafayette. Didn't know what other distractions I was going to have today, so I wanted to make sure I voted, so I did that. And then so my wife, my daughter voted by absentee ballot because she's in Waco at Baylor, and she got that in. And then but my wife and my son are headed to vote, and so they're excited about it.
No, it's a good that's a good feeling.
That's what you ought to do. We ought to feel excited for the privilege.
No, you are. Boy, I tell you what, and I won't go into detail. I remember that time, and I've said it many times on the program with the one time in Monroe where the mayor's prosecutor, or his lawyer, I can't believe Pierre was his name.
Yeah.
He went out there and did a voter drive at Neville, and he didn't turn everybody's in. He turned the black voters in, but not the white. When the white kids showed up to vote, they couldn't vote because it was a day for the deadline, and they were not allowed to vote. That was their first experience of voting when they weren't allowed to vote because their cars were turning the next day, and nobody could do anything about it because there's no laws on the books that if you do a voter rally registration at a school, they let you come in. You don't have to turn any of them in.
Wow!
And that was their first experience. And I think about that every time. Every time I see somebody voting for the first time, it always reminds me of that. What an experience to go. What do you mean?
Yeah, it shouldn't be that way.
And the mayor ended up getting.
My daughter voted. Her first time to vote was actually the presidential election 2 years ago. So she was. So fired up about that, and just fired. I'm not talking about for any particular race. Fired up to have the opportunity. And my son, and when I was teaching Sunday school this past Sunday, I teach 12th grade, and there's quite a few kids in there that have the opportunity to vote and have already registered. And matter of fact, it was interesting because every child that had the opportunity to register was registered, which was good. Impressive. And so I encouraged them. I was going to encourage them to vote. Man, they're all in. They're of course they have the people they're voting for, but they're very passionate about it, and that excites me that we have young people that actually care.
Well, they're saying that some of the young votes are up, and in the press they all think they're all going to vote liberal. Now, but that don't necessarily mean they're all going to vote liberal.
Now the statewide, Brandon, I don't know if you had a chance to vote on this statewide. Mm-hmm. The statewide referendum to make me the host of the show and not Moon. I hope all the listeners knew about that.
Actually, can I be honest with you? On that referendum, I voted yes.
Oh, there you go. So I get everything that goes with it.
Right in. Can he start today? All right, we got to take a quick break. More to come. Your calls, all that. 1 hour to go, and elections today. Please go vote. We'll take a break. Be right back. How y'all are? Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. Hixson has it hotline, 844-766-6607. Hixson has it hotline. Dallas Hixson is squeezed in here with us today, man. In the big house. I mean, we're in Lafayette, man.
Yeah, just for a few minutes. I'm fixing to head back. But
I got a kick out of watching something in the New Jersey race. Bob Menendez, who really should have been hung jury, got him off.
He should be in prison.
Right, should be in prison.
Yeah.
Democrats are saying sacrifice your principles and vote for the Democrat. But if we were Republicans, they'd say bomb that dude, get him out of there. But on the Democrats, sacrifice your principles. And my question is, what principles are they talking about? I mean, this. I'm trying to figure out without being ugly. Cory Booker is also a senator from there. You know Cory Booker, Spartacus. I know that's how you probably know.
Yeah, Spartacus. Oh, yeah.
Spartacus says because this is not left or right. This is right or wrong. So it's right to vote.
So
for
it's right to vote wrong, to vote Menendez.
It's right to vote wrong.
Is that what he's saying?
Yeah, he said it's not right or wrong. It's probably both.
You got Gilliam
right
in Florida, and the only good news is if he gets elected governor, he may go to prison over his stuff for running the city that he's currently running.
Tallahassee. It's
Tallahassee's in a nightmare of a mess.
But it's amazing with all the trouble that guy has. That to me, and it's the way I think, I can't believe he's even close. I can't believe Menendez and New Jersey that they don't go, you know what? Enough of the crap's enough. I'm voting the right way. But they hate Trump so bad.
They hate Trump so bad. And it's amazing to me.
I had a guy tell me, it was last week or the week before last, and he knows a lot of people. He says this economy we got going right now that Louisiana still is not part of, he said this economy is going to do this for 2 more years.
Oh yeah, even if they train wreck
it don't matter what they do. The economy's going to roll for 2 more years.
For example, it's like a locomotive. You cut the power, and just the push of all the cars behind it are going to keep it going for a short period of time before it comes to a stall. It's not going to stop immediately right there. But I really am optimistic. I really hope that this is a steamroll election, a red tide, and
can you imagine the faces on these people?
It'll be
because I'm going to be honest with you.
It'll be absolutely
everything I read, and I read a little. I say I read deep or thinking about. I'm thinking about, but I go around. I try to read all the stuff all around, and they're convinced this is over. They're convinced that the Democrats are going to win. They're convinced that they have a shot at the Senate. Maybe they do. Maybe they'll be right this time. I have no idea. How about Trump's energy?
Man,
dude, it's 70.
My wife and I were talking about that.
Boom, boom, and never stop.
And man, I'm telling you, I said, man, I get tired just hearing about what he's doing. Much less, 25
Well, I'll be honest
years.
with you. I'm a little different. I ain't tired of winning.
I'm 25. I'm not tired of winning, but I get tired of hearing about what he's doing because he's just so busy. He's 25 or whatever or more years older than I am. It's like I told Cindy the other day, I was like, my gosh, the guy has energy that is just boundless.
He's 71, Brandy.
Is that what? I think 74.
71, 72.
Whatever it is.
72. He's in his 70s.
But he moves around. I tell you what, when I watched Obama and George Bush and some of these people that were younger, by the time they got to this, they were hoarse. They couldn't even talk.
Yeah.
Not him.
Yeah.
He's just talking the same
He just keeps going. Keep going.
And I've been
72.
I've been amazed at the energy level.
Yeah.
Because I got to tell you, he went out there. He's the one fighting. They asked him the other day about the rhetoric, and he said, "Look, I wish I could tone mine down, but I have no choice." And I'll be honest with you, that was the right answer.
I agree.
If at first nobody defended him, now you got people trying to defend him. But the bottom line is, he's had to fight the press the whole way. The media ought to bother people.
Well,
in this country.
he's fought the press. He's fought the opposite party.
He's fought some in his own party. Never Trump.
I was going to say, he's fought his own party. He's fought. There's nothing, not a single thing the guy's done.
But if he hadn't have fought that hard, he would have got run over like the rest of them.
Yeah.
George W. Bush let the media, for 8 or 9 years, run him into the ground. His poll numbers got in the 20s.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're looking at, Trump's anywhere 45, 46 to 51. And if he wouldn't have fought back, he would have faded away.
Yeah, he
would have faded away. And guess what? Do you think the media is going to change their tone no matter what happens in the election?
If
the House is gone and the Senate's gone.
Either way this goes, the rhetoric from the media is only going to get worse.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to, I told you so, there was a blue wave, or the red wave happened, my gosh, we can't stand for this, we have to fight. I think if the Republicans end up winning out, it'll be worse than any other thing that could happen, because I think they're going to just rail against it for the next 2 years.
I want to ask you, Dallas, real quick. If you think we get a red wave, what though will be that one, maybe 2 seats, whether it's a governorship, a congressional race, the highly touted ones? Which one do you think Democrats will gain, though? Because they're going to get. I think they're going to get one at least.
That's a great question. I would hope Menendez would lose. I would just hope the people of his state would realize.
But that's the one this
guy's a crook.
Yeah.
And I unfortunately I think there's going to be enough of a wave there where Menendez is going to win. I would hope that in Florida Rick Scott would win. Mm-hmm. I happened to just meet him through happenstance. I was telling Moon this at the break. What a phenomenal, humble, genuine individual. I mean,
he
really.
looks that way. When
Oh
you
man,
watch him.
he is what he looks like. He's just a humble, genuine, caring guy. At least from everything I've seen about him and known about him, and then obviously meeting him in person a year or so ago. And he's a thoughtful guy. He's a guy that really would, in my opinion, represent the people well. I hope he wins. I think that to some extent, Gilliam is getting out the vote in the governor's race for Florida, trying to take Rick Scott's place as he runs for Senate. And I think that's going to work against, I think that's going to help Gilliam. Obviously, he's getting a lot of vote out, which is going to help him come close to, if not winning, the governorship of Florida. Mm-hmm. I don't see how a guy that's under criminal investigation could even be on the ticket. Yeah. But nonetheless, he is.
Well,
and we'll
because
see what happens.
If in the real world, the way we live in now, if Gilliam was a Republican, the press
he'd be guilty.
The press would bomb him. You're guilty. With the left, you're guilty to proven innocent.
Yeah.
I mean, with the left, if you're on the right,
and the other way, it's innocent until proven guilty.
You're guilty to proven innocent.
Well,
on
it's
the flip side,
it's even worse than that. It's guilty. It's innocent till proven guilty. Good luck proving us guilty.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
Yeah.
And
but they like guilty. We saw with Kavanaugh. They really like guilty to proven innocent.
I will.
Or what they really want is, when they tried to do that with Kavanaugh, they wanted Trump to quit him or him to quit.
Right.
Once they got so deep into that, then it was this story, that story. And by the way, all that's blowing back up. People come back saying, I shouldn't have said that.
Yep.
I lied. I think I'd look at Balsley Ford. I'm thinking she lied big time too. But once again, since that part of it's over, you see the Democrats, if they take control, I don't expect them to go after Kavanaugh at all. I expect him just to say, you know what?
Let's
we
not
can't
fight
win
that.
this.
Yeah.
Let's just let this drop. We can always say he did it, even though he didn't. But if we got to prove everything, we may not want to go that far.
And I think what's interesting is I really hope I'm not giving up.
There's not a vote that's
I
been
told my
counted.
wife
You do
yesterday.
realize that.
I really believe this. I believe that if voters turn out, if the red wave turns out, I believe they could hold the House and the Senate, and a lot of governorships that are thought to be so close that are going to go to Democrats could actually go to Republicans. I really believe that.
But can you imagine? Because I'm telling you, I read a lot, and they all got the Republicans getting beat. If it turns and they don't win, they're going to nut up.
Oh well,
there's going to be some nutting up.
The Supreme Court right now is stable, and what's kind of gone by the wayside is realizing just how many federal judges that Trump has appointed. There's so many open positions. It was unbelievable.
He's appointed 1/6
of all federal judges. Correct.
And he's got 2 more years.
And I think that if he can hold the Senate, I believe they will continue. First of all, even if they don't hold the Senate, in the next short period of time, they're going to shove through as many as they can. If they hold the Senate, you're going to have 2 more years where he really could be somewhere around the 40% range. He could be 40% of all federal judges would be appointed by Trump. And that's not 40%. There's a good chunk of the remaining 60% that would still be Republican appointed judges. And so I think that's a strong suit. Is the federal courts as well as the Supreme Court will have a conservative tone that may help deal with some of this nastiness.
You know what's sad that we're talking about all this, and it's what we do for a living, and of course you're talking about it. Brandon does the same thing. When this is all said and done, this doesn't affect my life as much as people make it to believe. And,
sure.
And what I mean by that is there are people voting for politicians because it's going to affect their lives.
Sure.
Because their trust and hope is in an elected official. I'm telling you, you're way better off putting your trust and faith in Jesus and God and go work hard and let Him bless you than to put your faith and hope in an elected official that some kind of way that's going to help you get out of the situation.
Not going to work.
But you're never going to be Dallas. That's like saying your happiness depends on me doing something for you. But Dallas, guess what? You're never going to be happy.
Yeah.
Ever. You're never going to be happy because you elected somebody. You're going to be happy.
And either way, I mean, however it goes today and into tomorrow when we find out how all this plays out, I'm not going to go hide in a safe place. I'm not.
Are you going to protest or start bloody? Are you going
I'm not going to protest. Are you going to punch Obama voter? I'm not going to punch anybody. I'm not going to go into a restaurant and be angry.
You're not going to holler at nobody at the restaurant?
I'm going to go to work and do the very best I can to take care of the people, no matter how they voted, that come into my business.
But that's what I mean.
And that no matter what they believe or how they vote, no matter what they believe religiously or anything else, if they choose to come in and to my business, I'm going to treat them with the utmost respect and fairness and all those other things. And that's what I would expect. That's what I expect to happen to me when I go into someone else's business.
Yeah,
and
I'm just telling you.
We've made politics in our country so front and center, like it's just the whole world is going to implode.
The reason why is because government is so much bigger, probably 3 times, 4 times, 10 times bigger than it was supposed to.
Sure.
And since it's gotten that big, that's where the money comes.
And it's powerful.
And then everybody follows the money.
Sure.
It was never if you cut the government down a third of what it is now. That's what government is.
It won't mean as much.
It won't mean as much. You won't worry about as much. And you go vote, and it wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate it. I just appreciate the opportunity to talk to you guys. Brandon, I really appreciated the opportunity to see you, talk to you, shake your hand.
Actually, since you're sitting right in front of me, it was a better view for you when you were out the window seeing my back.
I understand.
My mouth, by the way, this is going to surprise you. While you were behind me, my mouth was moving.
I saw that. I can see that from the side. Absolutely.
Well,
Dallas, we'll see you in a few days or weeks. I ain't heard from them.
I tell you what, though, and I will say this, Moon, all those out there that voted, one of the things I've heard is in my lifetime, a lot of the people who have screamed the loudest about elections they didn't like never went and voted.
Bingo.
So I would tell you, just go exercise your right to vote. You'll feel good about it.
Hey, hello, welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you with us. 844-766-6607. Hixson has that hotline. Boy, you like that. Visit from Dallas Hixson, right in the middle of a program. He sure knows how to run a program.
Man, I was shocked to see Dallas come in.
When you were laughing and smiling, look who's behind you. And I thought, man, at least you didn't say duck. Anyway, always great to see Dallas. Of course, Hixson has that hotline. Dallas and those guys do a great job, a wonderful job. We do appreciate them. Hey, folks, don't forget J&J Exterminator if you're looking for a bug man. More than a bug man. These guys can come out there and make sure you don't have any termites at your house. They can help control that mosquito population that's out there with all this rain we've been having. They want your business, and they want to prove that they want your business. They will take care of you anywhere in the state of Louisiana. You got a pest problem, termite problems. You're having a problem with something, you don't know what it is, you know what kind of bugs eating on something, why don't you give them a call, let them come out. They come out there, it's free estimates. They come check out what you need. You're building a home, you're going to need J&J Exterminator. You're selling a home, you need J&J Exterminator. You need J&J Exterminator. They are the best. Simply put, I've got more compliments on them. I tell you what, they really do a wonderful job, and all you got to do is go to jnjexterminating.com, check them out, give them a call. There's an office near you. J&J Exterminator.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating.
Yeah. All right, folks, Judgment Day is here. I was getting a kick out of New Jersey Democrats. Put your principles behind and vote for Menendez. You can't vote because you're voting for Trump if you give them. And that's. Can you believe? Don't vote for the guy because he's done something good. Don't vote against the guy because he does a lot of bad. Vote for him to beat up Trump. That's what the press does. The State Ledger, October 28th in New Jersey. Newspaper urged voters to choke it down and vote for Menendez.
Wow, what a pitch.
But despite what it called the most depressing local Senate race in a generation with 2 awful candidates. So see, they automatically call a Republican awful. Choke it down. This is the press. This is what the Democrats are saying right now. Choke it down. And vote Menendez, despite what is called the most depressing. This is what they got. I mean, Brandon, not vote for him to help your state get better. Not vote for him because we can go in a new direction. Choke it down.
That's pretty sad.
Brandon, that's what's going on all over the country. They got a black gentleman running on the Republican side in the Michigan Senate race.
John James?
Yeah, John James, who slowed this thing, really making it close. And there's no press helping him. See, folks, you have to be a liberal black. You can't be black. Liberal black. I tell you what, I'll make a prediction. If Georgia goes Republican in the governor's race. Just want to tell you this. This is the only prediction I'm going to make. If Georgia goes Republican in the governor's race, they're already set up that the Secretary of State, who's running against Miss Abram, they're already setting it up that he suppressed voters. They already set it up. They got old Oprah and Obama mixed in there, too. They already set it up, and they're going to cry, it's cheating, it's suppression of the vote. That's what they're going to say. And that's where they're going to target. Georgia will be where they target. All because Atlanta, just Atlanta, has become such a hotbed of liberal, socialist, Marxist politics. Florida races could be decided by Puerto Ricans voting. As you know, they have a right to vote, and after the hurricane wiped that place out, a lot of them went to Florida. So I'm just, you know, when you look at all this stuff and you start reading it and going over it and talking about it, you know, you just sit here and kind of laugh. I don't know. I guess I laugh to keep from crying. All right. Let's take a break. 844-766-6607. Hixson has a hotline. Your calls are ready. We'll be right back.